Okay, so hi everyone. So I'm the market manager for MSI India. So basically, we're from the laptop division. So I take care of all of the marketing strategy or execution, and especially for India region. So it's including management or like the digital marketing or even the product go-to-market campaign. So all of this segment will be included in my obligation.
Right. Let's just jump right into it. So I am the lead laptop reviewer here at Digit, and primarily I deal with gaming laptops. So with gaming laptops, like how during the pandemic we had actually seen a big surge in demand for gaming laptops. With people being at home, more time to actually spend entertaining themselves, playing games, so more interest in gaming. So have you noticed any kind of decline in the demand for gaming laptops post the pandemic?
Yeah, I'm glad that you raised this question because, of course, through the 2 or 3 years during the pandemic, like everyone considered not only gaming laptop, but let's say overall laptop as an essential in the market, no matter it's for productivity or no matter it's for content creation, no matter it's for gaming. And yes, there's a huge growth during the pandemic, but I won't say the demand got declined or like reduced, because basically it just remained back to the inquiries in the market according to its annual growth. So for sure, India is a big market that had a lot of potential. Even I believe the growth is already happened for 1 or 2 decades, and it still keeps growing with the humongous amount right now. So I would say that in the past 2 or 3 years, it got like even 3 times to 5 times growth, especially for the pandemic period. However, it just comes back to the regular growing rate according to how in-depth potential it is. So it's still increasing. Yeah.
So basically it was already on an upward trajectory and there was just a big spike during the pandemic.
Yes.
Having catered to like such a large global market like MSI laptops are known around the world, and you've got quite a wide segment, like wide price range, a lot of laptops on offer. So like, do you have any insight as to what it is that Indian gamers are looking for when they purchase a gaming laptop?
Yeah, so basically what we observe is that it's not only for gamers, but let's say for out of the power users. So as you know, that MSI got our laptops divided into different segments, including gaming laptop, including productive laptop, including content creation laptop, and we consider every people got different demands, and there's different unique feature to be installed on a laptop itself to benefit those users in different scenario. And like back to the topic for gamers, what we observe is that even gamers, they are not only consider themselves as a gamers only. Like people never identify themselves as a single like module or a single role only. They consider themselves can play different role, like multiple role in the reality. So let's say a gamers, probably in the day they are a working elite, they are a business elite, and probably they are like kind of content producer, no matter like video editing, or like even now we're staying together as a reviewer. Somehow we are doing video review as well, or like we are doing photography as well. So they got their chance to like look at those scenarios on creating something by themselves. Or like, of course, at night they do play games, but maybe on different segments like casual gaming or like extreme performance gaming. So I will say, since people now consider all of the scenarios together when looking for a performance-wise laptop, so they want something can be balanced in between. Of course, performance will be the first choice. The first inquiries you need to have on the laptop. However, since they are working in multiple roles, portability will not consider as a different demands for sure. And it's like making it into a higher priority considered than before. Or like people also consider like the resolution or the display or the output on the display itself, no matter for immersive experience on game or no matter for their editing job or simulation job. So that is also why we release like studio certified laptop in different segment, no matter in gaming or in content creation, because it used to be in content creation only in like past 3 to 5 years, because it's something new in past 3 years only. But now we also consider, gamers, they also consider their game content creator as well. Or sometimes they're simulating their own game character from their own self. And we do understand, especially for India market, it's a huge market for STEM students, so like tech student or engineering student. So there are a lot of engineers in the country. So they somehow are doing VR content creation and also doing like simulation or even the graphic model training by AI. So that is something new happening. It's already on trend. So that is why we consider all of this together: performance, portability, and also the stable performance for content creation, and of course the visibility for display as well.
So let's going back like about 3-4 years now. I think in 2019 we saw a bit of a craze about like cloud gaming. Basically, the game is being streamed on a different powerful server, and you can play it on any device regardless of its hardware. And now recently we're seeing a bit of a spike in, let's say, handheld gaming. Like, so, I think Asus has just released the Ally. Before that you had the Steam Deck. I think it kind of, since the Nintendo Switch, you've seen a bit of a thing. So like, all these things, do you think they kind of take away from the gaming laptops? Like, how do you see gaming laptops evolving around this? Are they going to be affected at all?
I mean, as a company that look deeper into the industry, especially for gaming or for those powerful tasks, we are very happy to see that such thing happen. I will say eventually, yes, we do agree, probably in the maybe next 2 decades or maybe 3 decades, something can really happen to have a central management on cloud or central computing on cloud can totally replace all the computing requests for people, no matter it's for engineering or no matter it's for gaming. However, like at the current stage, it shows like since it's really considered probably the personal device infrastructure, and it's not only for the personal device only, it's about the connection, about the overall internet environment, and of course it's about like the facility that overall industry can provide you. So I will say for those extreme power users, they are still looking for a powerful device for themselves. If it's definitely looking into a professional segment. For example, if they're playing a heavy game, or if they are like doing a heavy task on content creation, or somehow if they are a video creator in Bollywood in the movie production segment, so they for sure require such facility to ensure their production got well. Or like even for like power gamers, when they are looking at a 4K immersive gaming experience, they still require a very instant performance to boost up at that moment. But it's also, when it comes to the cloud computing, it will really require a seamless connection. But it's very based on the live connection at that moment in between the cloud service provider or including the game content provider. So it's more like a 3-way connection. So if one of them got a bit delayed, then it won't satisfy the gamers. Yeah, but eventually we really expect it can be happen in the future, because that means the performance on personal device can be optimized other tasks. So it will be a win-win situation.
Have you noticed like any notable trends in laptop design or like form factor of late that have like suddenly come up, and like anything new in like MSI laptops specifically?
So as I mentioned in the beginning that so not only on performance, now portability will be one of the concerns for gamers, right? That is why we also got 14-inch laptop, but still can equip with RTX 4060 or 4070 the graphic level. So on that, on the form factor, yes, more and more new materials is coming out to try to make sure people still got a sturdy and like solid design on the chassis, but it's still thin and light. So that is why MSI kept enhancing on the new materials for her laptop as well. So for example, in this year, we ensure we have magnesium aluminum alloy. So comparing with the typical alloy, aluminum alloy, which might be easier to bend, but for the alloy for magnesium and aluminum alloy, it will still be solid but still thin and light. So that is something can be considered as a like new trend for the market. And moreover, like people try to make sure their chassis or form factor got unique from the exterior design as well. So we also got some translucent design on our Cyborg series. So it can make sure that even though we are, I mean, like from our observation, we see through the market it's just like 70 to 80% of people they are using like a dark color or even a black color laptop, right? But we do understand that even as a gamer, somehow when they bring it to work or to study, they still want to keep it low profile. But on some small like elements, they still want to stand out, showing that, oh, I'm unique. And it's also about self-identification as well. So that is why we put some like elegant and small design on the chassis as well to make them feel, oh, it's unique, it's different from the general laptop we have. And another thing regarding form factor will be the connection as well. Because as I mentioned, people consider themselves as more and more roles right now. They are not only a student, they are not only making laptop for work or study, they still want to enhance themselves into maybe a casual creation segment, or like they are trying to make themselves as a start into the creative segment, especially they handle their own social media. So on that, they will require more connectivity on the I/O ports as well. So we ensure such point is built in on the laptop to make sure it can be feasible for different kind of I/O port instead of restricting I/O port. So it creates more possibility for people to enhance their or expand their usage.
So you mentioned how you've got like the new RTX 40 series, 4060, 4070 smaller form factor. I think that has a lot to do with how power efficient the new 40 series GPUs are. And so we've had the chance to like test a few laptops that have already come out with the new 40 series GPUs. So can you actually discuss the impact of these new 40 series GPUs like on the gaming laptop market? Like at least from what we've seen, like the 4050 is able to give you better performance numbers than a 3060 while offering a lot more competitive price. So like what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I would say like this really thanks to all those efforts from those semiconductor factory as well. And of course, the major change of this generation comparing for the RTX 60 to RTX 40 to RTX 30 is that they have the new architecture from the 8 nanometers to 4 nanometers. So that is a great enhancement to increase the performance for sure. And it's not only increasing the performance, but also lower down the power consumption. So when it brings to the power consumption, it means that it won't eat too much on the voltage required from the power supply, and also reducing some heat as well. So that means a lot when people look at the peak of the frequency on those chipsets, no matter it's processors or no matter it's graphics. And it's also helping us on building like a steady performance when you are remaining extreme performance for long. And secondary is that, yes, when we look at such enhancement, comparing for RTX 4050 and RTX 4060, so they're still on the mid-range of affordability comparing with RTX 3060. And even though they're named as 50 or 60, but you can see that there's even an increase on RTX 4050 comparing with RTX 3060. But the price point remains similar. So that will be a great point for people to upgrade their laptops, because I will say that for the product cycle that people is having a laptop in India, in average, I will say it's around 4 to 5 years. So most of people, they are now selecting their laptop while they originally might be having their RTX 1060 or even just RTX 20 series only. So when they are trying to upgrade their laptop, then RTX 40 might be a good choice for them, if consider a balance in between the affordability and the performance as well.
So during the pandemic, we had a bit of a supply issue. Like there was a bit of a shortage, difficulty getting GPUs, devices. Have any of these manufacturing problems like carried over? Or is it all good now? Is it settled down?
Okay, yeah, this is. I'm really glad that you asked this question as well. So, we're quite proud of this because MSI got our own factories. So that is definitely a strength comparing with any of competitors, because they used to assemble their laptop or manufacture their laptop by different vendors. However, since we have our own factory, we can do piece by piece collaboration to make sure, it's qualified. So coming back to the supply as well, since we have our own factory on this, we can foresee that what demand is for the entire market. We can make sure the overall supply sustain no matter we are facing any issue. And moreover, we predict, we were really glad that we predict how it might be. So since we foresee the trend, so we inward more stock into the market when the shortage hasn't come yet. So that made us steadily providing the laptop to the users even during the shortage when other vendors they are facing. So that will be a strength during. I believe it's happened in just 1 year back, right? So through that time, we didn't really face any shortage issue or supply issue, and then comparing with other competitors.
Sounds great. The new RTX 40 series GPUs, they come with a bunch of new software optimizations from NVIDIA. We've seen DLSS 3 and frame generation. So how would you say these technologies influence like a gaming laptop, like when people are making their purchase?
Yeah, of course, all the new features, no matter the AI computing for DLSS 3 or like the new ray tracing thanks to the new architecture. So this is definitely trying to bring more immersive experience for the users or try to optimize performance for them. So we're really good. It's more like an add-on because people usually rely on the cooling efficiency or like the chipset performance itself. So and when we add on the AI technology into DLSS, it can automatically detect like how is your scenario. It can learn how the scenario is. It can learn how's your usage growth through mid to long term period, and it can also help enhance customize performance due to your personal usage. So that is a good thing. But still, like as I mentioned, cooling efficiency is one thing that, because it's in between the software and hardware. When we discuss about the performance, it's also in between the collaboration in between software and hardware. So even we have a software optimization, we still require a hardware optimization from our end as well to make sure, it smoothly make sure or ensure the performance during gaming or during heavy work. So on that, since we're pretty proud on our cooling efficiency from our cooling module as well. So I would say that it's more like an add-on in between the hardware and software collaboration, and it can really help the gamers to have a better experience on the new generation.
So we recently had the opportunity to review the MSI Cyborg, and I think we'd first seen it at CES, and obviously we thought it looked pretty cool. Like it's subtle, but at the same time it's got that unique look to it, like you mentioned. So as far as I know, MSI already has existing segments. You've got sort of budget gaming laptops, you've got the high-end laptops. So I guess the Cyborg fits somewhere in between. It's like a mid-upper segment of so like what was the thought process behind the new like Cyborg lineup?
So I would say so yes, of course, like see, MSI do produce like the full range of gaming laptop to ensure it's fulfilling different demands, right? So starting from the RTX 4090 and on the top, or even to the like now it's GTX 6050 plus probably a -2 the 11th gen processors. So we do got different combination through the laptop. And I would say that Cyber is one of the perfect combination. Consider the mid-range to entry-level performance, and still with portability. And of course, it's standing out with the new ID design as well. And regarding the equipment, it can equip up to RTX 4060, but still we got like an entry level with same RTX 2050 as well on the Cyber. So it's really depends on the specification you need for your demand. So I would say like so probably starting from somewhere around 75990 to even above 1 lakh. There's different specification as a combination for people to choose. So this really depends on if you really want to go for an RTX 4060 with the full performance, then of course it might be around like 1.2 or 1.3 lakhs. And if you like maybe you're not chasing for the highest performance, but you still want to have a wonderful ray tracing experience, RTX 2050 is there as an option.
But like, wouldn't it kind of overlap with existing gaming laptops that MSI already offers, like the GF63 or the Katana, which offers similar configurations at similar price points?
Okay, so it will comes with the performance as well and demand as well. So let's say the Cyborg is more like a bridge in between Katana and Thin GF series. So for Thin GF series, so let's say for Thin GF series, it used to be the most famous models in India, or let's say the most sold gaming laptop in India, because basically it's perfect for students when they start their like study or they start their coding task in university, or they want to have casual gaming pair. And coming to Katana, you can compare the thickness with Cyborg and GA. That we also enhance the power there with a higher TGP. So even they are equipped with the same graphic level, but since the power supply there is different, so that makes the performance difference, because performance will be rely on the cooling efficiency as well. The thinner laptop you make, then we need to lower down the voltage a bit. So and on this point, we're trying to figure out a balance in between, like fully chasing about the portability or fully chasing about the performance. Then Cyber will in the mid of these two segments compared with them. So I won't say it's in overlapping, but somehow I agree that yes, probably if you're comparing like a similar benchmark in the regular test, somehow it will be different. But when you're comparing in the peak frequency, there will be a difference there.
So I think that's about it for the questions that I have. So would you like to add anything? Is there anything new and interesting happening in MSI that we can look forward to anytime soon?
Yeah, so in fact, the growth is still enhancing in like increasing in the market for now, and like through the pandemic, what we see through the gamers is that because during the pandemic, people got less opportunity to engage with each other, right? And instead of just providing the laptop, we are also trying to like nurturing those young talents in different segments, no matter it's for young content creators or for young gamers, because like it's not only in India, but it's also happening worldwide. We create more than hundreds of gaming tournaments. We create creator awards with a prize pool and also provided possibility for them to attend some global level creator event. So that is something we are keep dedicating on having in India as well. So after the pandemic, so like even through the pandemic, we are trying to make this into online format. But after the pandemic, we are glad to see that yes, the market is revealing and people are starting to engage with each other. And we do see a lot of outstanding those young talents in India. And obviously, India is one of the country that have most attendance and most application for the creator work. So we do glad to see this, and like we're quite proud for like Indian market as well, saying wow, there's so many young talents, and we really wish that no matter our facility can help the environment and help them grow together, or in fact we keep seeking for the feedback from these content creators or young talents that can help us on providing a better solution for the market.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Bruce. This was an insightful interaction. Learned a lot. So I'm just just summarizing what you said here, which is basically so the Cyborg is basically like a bridge between the GF Thin and the Katana. So I think the Indian market has also become a lot more wiser when it comes to understanding like laptops, and like a few years ago you wouldn't see them asking about the TGP or the TDP, and now they're a bit more wary. So I think the people who it's intended for will understand that it is meant for them. So yeah, I see the space it's filling. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Units there, we can arrange how can we proceed that, because I believe especially second half of the year is definitely the biggest sales inquiry duration for in the market, especially there's a Diwali right there. Right, so yes, we can try to arrange a unit for review as well. So let's see how can we proceed that. We do have sample with us.
Yeah, sure. I'll reach out to Neve and I'll just channel it through him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Done. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bruce.